like all about counting the numbers. So let's say that I have 2 times 11. I'm going to count my numbers, and I'm going to use my little highlighter tool here to count my numbers. So this has 1 sig fig here, and this has 2 sig figs. My answer needs to match with whatever has the least number of sig figs. Notice that would be this 2 here. He's only got 1 sig fig. My answer needs 1 sig fig. We all know that really would be 22, but to give 22 1 sig fig, I'm going to have to do some rounding. And yeah, that happens. So I can't round 22 to 2. That makes no sense. I'm going to have to round him to 20. And that's okay. There's no decimal in there. Remember our little rule without, when there's not a decimal, you go right to left. And that's the only number that I have to count for sig figs. Let me do a different example. What if I do 690 divided by 70? All right, so let's count our sig figs. We've got 1, 2 sig figs here, and I've got 1, 2. Oh, that last one isn't a sig fig. Let me make this 7.0, because now I can get him having 2 sig figs. So look, in this case, they both have the same number of sig figs. That's fine. It just means that the final answer is going to have 2 sig figs. So this should be 90. Should be my final answer. And when I write it like that, it doesn't have enough sig figs. So to give him enough sig figs, I'm going to have to write him like this. I can also use scientific notation, which is coming up. And scientific notation will also give him the right number of sig figs. So sometimes with multiplication division, I've kind of covered the 2 rules that are kind of weird right here. Sometimes you have to just make sure that you have the right number of sig figs. But in a lot of cases, it works out really nicely every single time. So go ahead and look at these top problems, or not these top, but you've got these same problems, and just give it a chance to count each number sig figs and just make sure that your final answer matches with the number that you should have.